today we are going to discuss about the introduction. What is a robo? What are the things you are going to learn in this subject? So a very easy subject, but little bit mathematical knowledge is required for you. Okay. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me at any point of time by unmuting yourself. Okay. Let us start our lecture. So the subject is robotics and automation. So first, robots are mainly used for automation. Okay. So what do you mean by automation? Automation is replacing the human thing. There are many advantages of automation. Some disadvantages also there. So advantage means you will get the accurate product out. Okay. But disadvantage is unemployment. So one robot can replace more than 100 people, okay, in some situations. So what is a robot? First, a robot is a programmable multifunctional manipulator designed to move parts, tools, or specialized devices through variable programmed motions, okay, for the performance of variety of tasks. So this is the definition given by Robotic Institute of America. Actually, there are three authorities in the world. They are deciding, they are giving the what is called, say, validity. The validity of the robo product is mainly the first institute is Robo Institute of America, RIA. They are the prime authority. The next is Japan Institute of Robos. Okay, Robo Institute of Japan, Institute of Robos. Then third one is France. Okay, France Institute. There are three authority mainly for robot design and validation, evaluation. So RIA define a robot is a programmable, reprogrammable, multifunctional manipulator designed to move material, parts, tools, or specialized devices through variable programmed motions for the performance of variety of tasks. So many tasks. Okay. So another alternate definition is a robot is a one man, one arm, blind idiot with limited memory and which cannot speak, see, or hear. Okay, this mainly so this definition mainly for industrial robots, because in industry this is very early definition, because in the early stage only one arm, like our leg, sorry, our arm, we are having two arms, right? So like that initially one armed robot is designed for the industrial pick and place, suppose pick and place. So those robots are not able to see, or they are not able to take on their own decision, that is blind idiot. So industrial robots are mainly called blind idiots. Okay. Then what is meant by automation? Okay. Automation is the process of handling operation of equipment such as processors, machinery, and stabilization of, this is an example, to stabilize a ship and the landing and uplifting of aircraft, then boilers and other many applications which are mainly required man replacement. We cannot able to operate near boilers. Okay, so to replace man, in these circumstances where the dangerous explosion happened. So those places we normally go for replacement of human beings by means of robots. So what are the reasons for automation? To increase labor productivity, okay? To reduce the labor cost by replacing labor, to mitigate the effect of labor shortages, to reduce the eliminate routine manual works. Suppose if a job is repeatedly wants to do, so if we ask you to do one job continuously and repeatedly, what do you feel? You will get tired and bored. Okay, suppose if it is done by a machine like robo, no need of this thing, right? Understand? So then improve worker safety, so safety environment for industrial safety standards, to improve product quality, to reduce manufacturing lead line, okay, line. Then to accomplish process that cannot be done by manually, to avoid high cost of not automating. So these are all reasons for automation, and this is the definition for automation. Then next is what are the types of automation? There are three types of automation basically. The fixed automation, then programmable automation, then flexible automation. The fixed automation is all the parts, all the components of a robot or an industry is fixed, fully made up of mechanical items, okay? Like CNC machines, okay? CNC, lathe machines. Lathe is somewhat only involved with the hardware and mechanical parts. Then door with the spring. See, whenever we open a door, it will automatically close. Understand or not? So you might see in in our laboratory also. If you open the laboratory door, it will automatically close. This is all simple automation. So this type of automation called fixed or hard automation. In soft automation, there are two types. One is programmable and flexible. So in the programmable, involve software, only software. For example, air condition. If you set temperature in the air conditioner AC, it will maintain the cooling. That is some simple software application. Okay. Then traffic light. So it is pre-programmed with different timings. So on green, yellow, red. Okay. There are three stages of traffic condition. So this is all example for programmable automation. Only software based. Next is flexible automation. This is also a part of programmable automation, but the integration of hardware and the software. So, for example, is computer integrated manufacturing, then automobile assembling in the industry, the assembling of automation. If you go to automobile industry, one place, one robot just pick up and place on the conveyor belt, the engine, first stage is engine. Then the conveyor moves to another stage. In that, some four wheels or some other things are fixed. So then the conveyor continuously moves to another stage. So it will take nearly 1 kilometer. You could see if you go to the automobile industry, the conveyor length is around 1 kilometer. Is it possible? Okay. So when it comes out, the final stage, fully painting. So painting booth. So the car is entered into a painting booth. So after the painting booth, a fresh, new, excellent car is product. Okay, we will get a excellent car output in the output stage. Clear? So this comes under flexible automation. So computer integrated manufacturing, assembling, and loading, unloading. There are different type of example for flexible automation. So this comes into the automation. Next is robots. What are the main components of a robot? So robot can be compared with a human being. So the human being hand The human hand is nothing but robo manipulator, robo arm. So human hand, our hand is the example for our human manipulator, right? Then human leg. So human leg is mobile robo, legged robo. So this is under the classification. This comes under mobility. Okay, we will discuss what are the mobility cases are there. Mobility. Human eye. So human eye is a machine vision. So robo is equipped with a human machine vision, so called human eye. Then hand-eye task, visual surveying. By seeing the eye, we will do some job, some performance. That is called visual surveying. Then listen and talk. So nothing but sound recognition with the help of mic and speaker. Robo can listen and speak. Then think and decide. This is intelligent, artificial intelligence robo. This is the third generation robo. Actually, robo can be classified into many types. Based on mobility, we can classify mobile robo or immobile robo. Based on generation, first generation robo, second generation robo, third generation robo, and so on. Okay? So in the third generation robo, so that is today's robots are fully artificial intelligent, fully intelligent robots. So the revolution of robo. So very first, actually, robo means slave. Okay, robo means what? A slave. So slave worker. So robo is a Czech word. So it's a Czech word, Czechoslovakian word. The word is coined by Karel Čapek. That is, he mentioned in his novel. Okay, it is a novel. It is nothing but a robota. He introduced the word as a robota. Robota means worker, slave work, right? So he introduced Karel Čapek. He is coined the name robotics, robos. Robo means slave or meaning worker, slave worker. Whatever his boss orders, it will do. So slave. In 1954, George developed the first programmable robo. Then in 1962, Unimation was formed, first industrial robo. So 1973, Cincinnati Milacron introduced a T3 model robo. This is based on the industrial standards. So in 1990, Cincinnati Milacron was acquired by Allen Bradley robo company. Okay, ABB, Allen Bradley. So how do you classify robo? Okay, classify robo. The robo can be classified based on anatomy, body. Okay, body structure. So one arm, two arm, legged, then wheeled. So based on anatomy. So if your one arm robo, it is called one arm robo. If the robo has two arm robo. If the robo has three arm robo. Okay. Similarly, wheel. So that also comes under the mobility. Okay, classification. So according to anatomy, we can classify first generation robo, second generation robo, third generation robo. According to mobility, we can classify one-legged robo, wheeled robo. Okay, legged robo means one leg, two-legged, three-legged, four-legged. Okay, four legs robo. I will show you some four-legged robos. Okay, so first generation. Let's see what is first generation robo, second generation robo, third generation robo. So this is based on anatomy, body structure. Then control movement. Control movement means point to point. So if the robo moves from one point to another point, that is called point to point. If the robo has an interpolated motion, so interpolated motion from one place to another place, by moving from one place to another place, in what way it is planned. So that is interpolated. There are different type of motion: continuous path motion, joint interpolated motion. So robo has joints like our arm. That is based on control movement. Kinematics and geometry structure. So kinematics, according to the kinematics, the body kinematics, we can classify the robo as cylindrical robo if based on the workspace robo coverage. Suppose you just assume yourself, this is the our body is a stem. This arm is fixed on the robo, right? So if you just to move for 360 degree and your arm move from bottom to top. So what is the structure you will get? That is a cylindrical structure. Understand? So that type of robo called cylindrical robo. Suppose if the robo body fixed and it moves just from left to right, then the workspace, that is called workspace, you will get a rectangular structure. Okay, rectangular structure. So this structure called rectangular robos. This is called cylindrical robo, rectangular robo. Then if your arm is 360 degree in all direction, that structure will be a spherical structure. Okay, so that is called spherical robo for 360 in all three directions. So based on structure, we can classify cylindrical, rectangular, and the spherical. Also, the spherical also called polar robos. According to energy source, okay, according to energy source. So how do you classify? According to energy source, mechanical robo, because the energy, the power required for the robo to make action. So mechanical robo, then electrical robo, then hydraulic power robo, then pneumatic power robo. So there are 4 types of energy source mainly used for robo movement, okay, robo performance. So to perform the operation of robo, we require 4 types of energy source. Mechanical, fully mechanical spring and rack and pinion. So these type of devices used for robo construction that called mechanical robos. Electrical robos. You might aware of electrical things, motors, DC motor, stepper motor, servo motor. So these type of motors are involved in the robo activities. Those robos called electrical type of robo, electrically actuated robos. Hydraulic, very big robos, very big size. Okay, the payload, we will say according to the payload. Payload means how much amount of weight that robot can hold. Okay, hold by the finger or arm or manipulator. Okay, that the fingers are called grippers. The arm, the hand is called a manipulator. So this is gripper, our gripper. Okay, there are different type of gripper, there are different type of manipulators that we will see in future lectures. Okay, so electrically actuated robo, hydraulically actuated robo, pneumatically actuated robos. Then authority of body. So the authority already informed that Japan Institute of Robos Authority, then Robos Institute of America, then French. Okay, French is the robotics. That is the 3 authority. Based on their authority, we can classify 3 types of robo. Then industrial robo and non-industrial robo. Industrial robos are mainly used for part handling, painting, okay, welding, then part fixing. This type of robos called industrial robos. Non-industrial robos like a medical robo, medicinal robo, right? So different for different agricultural robo. These are all non-industrial robos. So this is based on industry and non-industrial classification. Based on design movement, so based on the movement, we can classify legged robo and wheeled robo. Okay, so there are different type of legged robo, then different types of wheels, then different type of movement done by the earthing. Each and every leg or wheel has its own advantage and disadvantage, right? Then according to application or job of robo, we can call welding robo, painting robo, or whatever application the robo does. Depend on that, we will classify the robots by number of degree of freedom. So how do you classify robots according to degree of freedom? First, we will see what is degree of freedom. Okay, I will ask Divish. Divish.
Sir, சொல்லுங்க sir.
Switch on video.
Sir, video.
தூங்கினியா?
இல்ல sir.
Sir. Sir.
என்ன பண்ணுறீங்க?
சார் அமிர்தவல்லி மேம் கால் பண்ணிட்டாங்க சார், நல்லா கட் பண்ண முடியல சார், சாரி சார். அதான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட்
கிளாஸ் எடுத்துட்டாங்களா?
அவங்க கிளாஸ் பத்தி கேட்டுட்டு இருந்தாங்க சார், கரெக்டா அதனால சார்.
சார் விடுங்க, ஒண்ணும் இல்ல, நீங்க சொல்லுங்க இப்ப ஆன்சர். பொன்ஸ்ரீதி
சார்,
வாட் இஸ் டிகிரி ஆஃப் ஃப்ரீடம்?
அது ரோபோட் எந்த அளவுக்கு என்ன சார்?
Not in robots.
Automatica.
Okay. You tell what is degree of freedom in process control. You studied process control last semester, right?
Yes, sir.
What is degree of freedom? Okay, leave it.
தெரியல sir.
Okay, no problem. The number of parameters involved in the process, right? Number of parameters. Okay, the parameters involved in the process. Here, the number of degree of freedom. Degree of freedom means how many number of motions involved in the robot. For example, this is wrist, right? This is a robo wrist. This is a finger, right? So, in the, can you tell, anybody can tell how many motions involved in this wrist? Anyone? Anyone unmute and tell me how many number of motions involved at the wrist here? Arun Prakash.
Yes, sir.
How many motions? Could you see me? Could you
Up and down and
very good. Up and down.
left, right, and diagonal, sir. It can completely rotate, sir.
What is the name?
Sir.
Huh?
Single axis, sir.
No. How many motions at the joint? At this joint? 3 motions. Okay.
3 motions. Yes, sir.
So there are 3 motions at this joint, yes, right? So the wrist has 3 degree of freedom. Okay. So
yes, sir.
Okay, you mute yourself. The robo arm, a robo arm has totally a maximum 6 degree of freedom. A human being is having maximum 6 degree of freedom. A human arm. So at this joint, a rotational motion. Okay, here at the joint, at the arm joint, this is one motion. At the wrist, 3 motion. Okay, so here also we can move right and left and top and bottom. So totally a arm, a robo arm has 6 degree of freedom. That is a human being, like a human being, robo arm has 6 degree of freedom. Maximum 6 degree of freedom. So the Asimov, Isaac Asimov, that his name is actually Isaac Asimov. He initially suggested 3 laws of motion. So what is the 3 laws of robo? So this is called laws of robos. So the first law First law is a robot may not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. Okay, could you understand? A robot may not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. Okay, the next is a robot must obey orders given by it human. Okay, the robot must obey the order given by a human being, except where such orders would conflict with the first law. Except, okay, with the first law. That means you should not harm the human being. A robot, third law is a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first and second laws. Understand? So this is very important law. So important question also for examination point of view. Okay. So what are the three laws of robot? Understand? Okay. Based on design, I already mentioned. So we can design, we can classify robot first generation robot. So the first generation robot is a fixed sequence robot. Then taken the pick and place. Its task is only pick and place. Simply blindly it will pick and place. Okay, blind. Okay, deaf, no mic, no speaker at all. Okay, no sense at all. So it mostly these robots are fixed only for hard automation. Fixed automation robots. That is first generation robot. Second generation robot involves a little bit memory. Okay, some sense, some part of sense. Eye. It has some camera like that. So have a coordinate control between manipulator and eye sensor. Mobility, it has mobility. This is immobile robot. Okay. First generation robots are immobile, no mobility at all. In second generation robot, little bit mobile. It recognizes voice command, come, go. So this type of commands can be captured by the robot, and accordingly it will respond. So have touch 4C, right? Then multi-arm, this is fixed and one or two arm only. Here multi-arm action with the hand-to-hand coordination arm, flexible, and with memory, I said, with the help of microprocessor, some small intelligence is introduced in the second generation robot. Third generation robot move very fast, response time is very quick, more robustly, have an artificial intelligence robot with the intelligence involved with the intelligence in the design. Make a decision to commit a different job task. Only need few information to do their job task. Okay, be able to learn a new things. So this robot can be reprogrammed to do new things. So that's like a human being. So based on the situation, okay, these robots can adapt according to the environment, surroundings. So the cybernetics, cybernetics and biologically inspired robot. So the surgery robots. Okay. Nowadays, in JIPMER, some surgery in the stomach, abdomen, there are special surgical robots are doing in the JIPMER. You can you get permission, you can see the surgical robot available in the JIPMER. Okay. Then based on the one-legged robot, then wheel robot. Okay. So classification between legged robot and wheel robot. Okay. So legged robot mainly used one-legged robot, two-legged robot, like our human being. So two-legged robot is mostly used. Okay. So where the legged robot can be used, where the wheel robot can be used. Anyone, please? Praveen Kumar. Praveen?
Sir.
Where you can use a legged robot and wheel robot, and where which situation we can use the wheel robot and legged robo? Any one application or any one venue? Earlier, anyone? Any other? Akash ji.
No idea, sir.
See, when legged robots mainly used to upclimb in the stairs. Understand or not? Huh? Akash?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So legged robo can climb in the stairs, whereas the wheeled robo cannot climb in the stairs. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So now we come to wheel robo. One wheel robo, then two wheel robo, then three wheel robo. See, this is one important question: how to classify different types of mobile robots. In that case, you first tell about legged robo, then explain about different types of wheel robo. One wheel robo, what are the advantage? Anyone? What is the advantage of one wheel robo? One wheel robo require only one motor. Say motor, only one motor. So what are so cost is less. What are the disadvantage? What is the disadvantage with the one wheel robo? Unstable. So stability, we cannot able to stably run the robo with one wheel, right? Then second, two wheel robo. Anyone? Akash, உங்க ஃப்ரெண்டே வந்துக்கிறாரா? அவரை கூப்பிடு.
அவர் ஏஞ்சிட்டான் சார். அவன் ஜிம்முக்கு போயிட்டு வந்தான் சார் இப்பதான்.
அமிதா இன்னும் வரல.
ஜிம்முக்கு போயிட்டு வந்திருக்கு.
அப்ப நானு கம்முன்னு போயிடுவேன்.
சார் இருக்கா சார்.
சரி சொல்லுங்க. அமிதா.
சார் என்ன சார்?
Right. Two wheel robo also little bit unstable. Cycle mari. We drive cycle, no? Cycle has two wheel. So in that case, we require two motors. Okay, front motor and back motor. So two motors. Here, somewhat better stability than one wheel robo. Okay, so this is unstable. Here, somewhat better stable here. Can you tell me? Anyone tell me three wheel robo? This is example for cycle type. Three wheel robo is example for auto rickshaw. How many motors required for three wheel robo? Where are you? Prashant.
Yes, sir.
How many motors required for a three wheel robo?
3 motors, sir.
Very good. Super, Prashant. Huh?
2 motors, sir. 2 motor and
Huh?
2 motor only, sir. 2 motor and
Front one motor, the back one motor, right? Couple.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What about stability?
Stable than 2 wheels, sir.
Very
2 wheel.
somewhat better stable than two wheel robo, right? Very good.
Yes, sir.
Right. What are the advantage?
Does not fall down very stable.
Easily, நீ ஆட்டோல கவுது பாக்க.
Yes, sir.
Very okay. Leave it. Next robo is four wheel robo. Thank you, Prashant. Four wheel robo.
Thank you, sir.
Aruna Devi.
Sir?
How many how many motors required for a four-wheel robo?
2 sir, front 2, back 2 sir.
Four
Sorry sir, frontல 1, backல 1 sir. 2 wheels control பண்ற மாதிரி sir.
All right. What about stability?
More stable than 2 wheel and 3 wheels sir.
Very good. Okay. Only 2 motors, more stable. Now compare the advantage of 3-wheel robo and 4-wheel robo. Solanga Papo. What are the which is advantages? Some typical advantages with the 3-wheel robo rather than 4-wheel robo.
Easily controllable sir.
Easily
Controllable sir.
எது
3 wheel.
அப்படி இல்ல, நீ ஆட்டோ ஓட்டுறவங்க பார்த்துருக்கீங்களா? இங்க இங்க நின்ன இடத்துல இருந்து இப்படியே திரும்புவான்.
Yes sir.
கார் எதுவுமே திருப்பியா?
No sir, reverse எடுக்கணும் sir.
ரிவர்ஸ் இல்ல, இடம் அதிகமா தேவைப்படும் கார் திருப்பணும்னா. கார் வந்து இப்படி போயிட்டு வரணும். இது இந்த 2 வீல் இங்க நிக்கும், இந்த முத வீல்லே திருப்பிடுவான். இந்த வீல் பிரேக். ஓகே, சோ குயிக்
Okay sir.
quick turning capability.
Turning.
But this
Okay, sir.
robo cannot. So
Okay.
sometimes 2 more questions. Compare 3-wheel robo and 4-wheel robo. Okay.
Okay sir.
Advantage and disadvantage. Thank you very much.
Thank you sir.
So these are all different type of wheel motions. This is a legged motion, 1-legged, 2-legged, 3-legged, 4-legged, like that. So technology. Based on robo technology, we can classify 3 types of technology: low technology robo, medium technology robo, high technology robo. This technology based on the payload. As I told you earlier, payload is how much amount of weight the robo manipulator can hold. Okay, the drive system. So what are the technology involved in the low technology, medium, the high technology robos? Drive system, right? So payload, according to payload, low technology robos 3 to 4.5 kg, medium technology robo around 23 kg to 57 kg. Okay, high technology robo nearly from low to very high 80 kg. Okay, maximum 100 kg also possible. So this based on payload we can classify low, medium, high technology. So there will be 2 marks. How will you classify robos based on technology? Okay, so based on payload we can classify this. Then drive system, low technology robo you mostly use pneumatic actuators. These are all drive system, energy source. So the energy source for low technology robo is pneumatic system. Medium technology robo drives hydraulic system. The high technology robo mostly use electric or hydraulic. Electric means high torque DC motor or servo motor, etc. The low technology motor mainly use pneumatic systems. These are all classification of robo based on technology. So this is one robo industry. This is the first modern industrial robo. This company is Unimax. The developer is George Devol, Joe Engelberg. So the Engelberg also defined robo. So the Engelberg stated the first robotics company called Unimation and has been the father of robo. Who is father of robo? George Engelberg. Okay, Engelberg is the father of robo, not Isaac Isaac Asimov is not the father, or the Karel Kappak is not the father. So Engelberg is the father of robotics. Okay, in some objective questions you can see. So who is the father of robotics? So Engelberg. The GE General Electric company, you see this is a 4-legged robo, right? As I told you, this is a 4-legged robo for first vehicle with a computer brain developed by the Ralph Moser at General Electric. This is a very famous company. You can also get some job opportunity in the General Electric company. So it is a very famous company. They developed first legged vehicle, legged robo with the 4 legs like our human. So what are good about robo? So robo mainly used for hard, whatever things very hard for human. So those targets can be done by the robo. So repetitive task, continuous operation without tireless. So complicated calculations, complicated task can be done. So refer to huge databases. So what is easy for human is hard for robo. Reasoning is hard for robo. Adapting new situation. Nowadays, these things happened with the help of artificial intelligence. This is the things given in early stages. Then flexible to changing requirement, integrating multiple sensors, resolving the conflicting data. So synthesizing unrelated information, creativity. So these are all very rare things available in the robo. But now modern robots, see, you could see in the film also. So the modern robots can sense, can create, can do some creativity. Okay. So what task would you give robo? What are the tasks we can give in the dangerous situations? So this is a rover. This is a rover robo in the space. It is in the space. So space exploration. Then chemical spill cleanup to clean the very harmful chemicals. Now recently also you might heard about ammonium nitrate, the blast in Lebanon. Okay, similar chemical is moved from Chennai Yelambur port to Hyderabad for disposal, right? So those chemicals are handled by our chemical robots. So disarming bombs. So disarming. So to suppress the bombs, we use robo. Then disaster cleanup. So nowadays this is similar to the disaster cleanup means you could learn, you could heard about Munnar, right? Very tragic thing we heard. So nearly 60 people buried in the soil, okay, this riverside soil in near Munnar, Rajamala camp, okay, tea estate. So now they are cleaning with the help of JCB, right? JCB and other accessories. So JCBs are called a hard automation robot, right? This is a disaster cleaning up. Then boring job. Human being feel very boring to do the job repeatedly. So where the boring job, say for example welding, car frames, part pick and place. So every time with the work cycle, the robo repeatedly do the job. So then manufacturing parts. So these are all comes under boring and repetitive task. This thing, if you want to, if you ask our human being, we will feel very boring and tiring. Then high precision and high speed. You want to do some job with very high speed. Human is very difficult. Okay, by doing a human is very difficult. Then electronic testing, PCB. Modern PCBs are tested by modern artificial intelligence robot. Then surgery. So some cases human may not be able to do surgery. So in this case, robot can do very surgery with very accurate and precise. So then precision machining. Machining means grinding, welding, painting. Everything is comes under precision machining. So what is your favorite robot? So this is the Robbie, Forbidden Planet. This is RoboCop. This you could see this type of things in films. So these are all Tobar. These are all different type of Faber robo. So these robots are called non-industrial robots. So what are the components in the robo? Arm, our arm is a manipulator. Arm is like a manipulator. End effector. This wrist hand is called end effector. Actuators and drive systems. So various types of actuators and drive systems. Motors, DC motors, and the called piston system. These are all comes under actuators and drives. Sensors and transducers. What are the various sensors used in the robots? Then computer and electronics. This comes under machine vision. So computers and cameras used for machine vision. Okay. Then education software. So teach pendant. With the help of teach pendant, the name called teach pendant. So through teach pendant, we can teach the robot to do some particular task. So via teach pendant, we can upload software in the robo memory. Our brain is similar to robo memory. So we are going to see different type of manipulators, end effectors, actuators, then sensors and machine vision, then application softwares. Those things we will discuss in the forthcoming lectures, right? So the subsystems, the different subsystems in the robo makeup. You see, action, for action, stationary or mobile, and sensors, control, power supply. So you see, these are all legs, these are all wheels. Okay, so this is track. So in this robot, there are they classified into three motion here. Okay, leg, by means of leg, by means of wheel, by means of tracks. Tracks means like a railway track. So robo simply moving on the railway tracks to do repetitive tasks. Okay. Then joint sensor, motor, gearbox, manipulator arm. This is end effector. End effector is nothing but gripper. This is a wrist. In the wrist. Okay. So in the wrist, there are, I said, in the wrist there are three motions. Okay, three motions. This is yaw. Okay, yaw. The horizontal left and right motion is called yaw. Up and down is pitch. This is called roll. So we remember 3 degrees of freedom at the wrist joint. One is yaw, pitch, roll. Okay, these things are already said by our Arun Prakash. So in the wrist, 3 motions, 3 degrees of freedom. So you see, at every joint, one sensor is there. So if it is angular, there's an angular position sensor encoders. If it is linear, then linear potentiometers. Linear potentiometers are there to sense the joint position. Okay. So this is base or body, our body. So you see, in the controller, in the control box, computer is there. Then task planning. This is this task either point to point or interpolated motion or continuous path motion. So these are all tasks, different tasks planning here. Okay. Then communication links. So you can communicate the robo brain system with the teach box, that is the teach pendant, then host computer. Okay, where the software is developed in the host computer and uploaded to the through communication links uploaded in the memory of the computer. Sorry, robo. Then trajectory planning. This is a straight line motion or joint interpolated motion. This is a planning joint. Then sensor interface. So various sensors from the robo body is interfaced with the robo memory. Then sensor interface, vision system. This vision system with the help of camera and signal processing system used in the machine vision. That is called machine vision. Then tactile sensor. Tactile sensor is for touch sensitivity. Touch sensitivity, the tactile sensor is used. So these are all some subsystems of a robot. So as usual, it is a feedback control system, a modern robot with a feedback. So actuators, sensors. This is the robot, physical system robot. This is a task. So task is fixed here. So based on the task, the robot performed at this stage. So with the help of sensors and feedback systems, measurement system. 3 types of control movement I already told you. Pick and place, continuous path control, and sensory. Sensory is a servo, a robot with a sensor. Okay, the feedback called sensory robots, sensor or servo robots. So how do robots move? Simple joints, 2 degrees of freedom. The type of joints is prismatic, revolute. I already told you, square cylinder. So it's a square tube. This is a square tube, right? So prismatic joint, rotating about one axis, called revolute joint. Then compound 3 degree of freedom compound joint, ball and socket, 3 revolute joints. 3 revolute joints means you see one joint, another joint, the third joint here. Here the manipulator, okay, gripper. This is gripper, manipulator. This body is attached to the base frame. So see here one rotation, here one rotation, here also one rotation. So there are 3 revolute joints. So this is called 3 degree of freedom joint. Okay, this cylindrical, round cylindrical tube, one prismatic, one revolute. So this is a cylindrical robot. This comes under cylindrical robot. The degree of freedom is nothing but number of independent motions at the joints. So 3 degree of freedom, 2 translation, 1 rotation. 6 degree of freedom, 3 rotation, 3 translations. Okay, 3 translation and 3 rotation involves in this 6 degree of freedom. So our human arm has 6 degree of freedom. Okay, so this is translational motion. This is rotational motion. So our human arm has 6 degree of freedom totally. So mobility already explained by legs. These are all legs. Then wheels. You see these are all wheels. Tracks. Then crawls. Roll. Roll means as mari roll I order. The rolls. Okay. Legged robo, wheel robo, tracks. Tracks means like a railway track. Okay. So travel by the bogie. So these are all moving. So what sensors might robo have? Okay. So optical sensor, laser, then pressure sensor, temperature sensor, chemical sensor, motion sensor, tactile sensor, proximity sensor, then force sensor, then grip. Okay, the grip sensor here. That's called slip sensor. So some sensors are attached on the fingers of the robot. When we place an object here, you want to lift the object. Suppose when the robot gripper lift the object up, the object may fall down. Okay, so slip down. So to avoid slip down, so the robot sense the amount of gripping force required to apply more and more. So to avoid slipping the object. So those sensors are called slip sensors. The slip sensors are different types. We will discuss in the sensor portion. So what are the various sensors? Touch sensor, slip sensor, proximity sensor, pressure sensor, temperature sensor, chemical sensor, motion accelerometer, then position sensor. So depend on application, we can adopt the different type of sensors for robot. So the control brain, the operation can be open loop for just you give command, it will do without any feedback. those robots are open loop robots. Just it follows the instructions. It follows only the instructions. It follows only the rules. In closed loop, no need of respond to the commands or rules. It just sends the parameter, and according to the sensing parameter, it will adapt, it will perform the task. Okay. So the expert system, rule based, database, and algorithm based. So inference engine, this is a communication, external inputs, external outputs. So these are all the communication procedure, estimation. These things we will discuss in detail in future coming lectures. So this is robot design based on the, this is one motion, here one motion, the base one motion, here one base rotation, here one rotation, here one rotation, here one rotation. So how many independent motions are there? 4. Okay, so this robo called 4 degree of freedom robots. 4 degree of freedom robots. So here same thing. This is simple. So this called base. This is the shoulder, our shoulder. This is the comparison of our human arm with that. So this is base, one shoulder, and elbow, then wrist. In the wrist, 3 degree of freedom. So end of arm tooling. So suppose here fix a gun, painting gun. So painting gun. So the painting gun is nothing but end of arm tooling. So EOA. So end of arm tooling, EOAT. Okay. So if you fix some end of arm tooling, suppose welding, a welding robot. So what is fixed at the gripper? So welding gun. So the welding gun, painting gun, these are all called end of arm tooling. Okay. So this is a base station. This is a simple feedback path loop for a robot. Base station, base, okay, and the display, analysis, feedback. So this is based on the controlling operation of this robot. Then application for artificial intelligent material handling robot. So machine 1, machine 2, many machines are connected and many sensors are connected in the field. So many robo arms, they adapt robo, Puma robo, Synati robo. So there are different robots in a single computer. So many operations in the industry, material handling operations can be done by a single computer. This is an application. So 3 robo, 3 conveyor, 2 parts path robots. So this is one robo. This is another robo. So which is used for parts handling. Okay. So let us take attendance. Today's attendance.